Why is it that, for so many people over 45, mornings begin with pain? Not a dramatic kind of pain, but a dull, slow, reluctant stiffness. Getting out of bed feels like a challenge, and those first few steps, whether it's to the bathroom, the kitchen, or just to stretch, can feel like the body is protesting. Joints feel rusty, muscles feel tight, and sometimes it takes a good 15 minutes before things start to wake up. It's so common that we treat it like a normal part of aging. But the truth is, morning joint pain is not inevitable. This topic isn't just personal, it's universal. I've spoken to dozens of men and women in their 50s, 60s, and beyond, and this is one of the most consistent complaints I hear. I'm fine during the day, but in the morning, my joints just won't move. And I used to say the same thing. But here's what changed. I started asking why. Why does joint pain seem worse in the morning? Why do some people feel 80 years old at sunrise, but by lunch they're moving like they're 50 again? And most importantly, what, if anything, can we do about it? It turns out, morning joint pain is not simply a sign of getting older. It's a combination of internal inflammation, changes in circulation during sleep, poor nighttime recovery, and even imbalanced eating the day before. But when we understand the biology behind it, we can change how we support our joints, not just with medications, but through habits, nutrients, and awareness. In this video, I want to walk you through the real mechanisms behind morning joint pain, using simple, clear explanations, and show you what I've learned through research, practice, and experience. Let's start by understanding what happens to your joints at night. Because sleep is supposed to be the body's recovery phase, right? So why do joints feel worse afterward? During sleep, the body enters a different metabolic mode. Heart rate slows, body temperature drops slightly, and overall circulation becomes less intense. That's perfectly normal. It allows the body to focus energy on healing, hormone balancing, and cellular repair. But for your joints, especially those already under stress or slightly inflamed, reduced circulation also means fewer nutrients, less synovial fluid movement, and slower waste removal. Synovial fluid is the natural lubricant found in most of our joints. Think of it like motor oil. It cushions, protects, and reduces friction. But unlike oil in an engine, it doesn't pump itself. It needs movement. During the day, as you walk, stretch, and bend, your joints are in motion, and that keeps the fluid circulating. At night, when we're still for hours, especially in stiff sleeping positions, that fluid settles. The result? When you wake up, your joints feel like a door hinge that hasn't been used in months. This is even more pronounced in people who already have osteoarthritis or low-grade inflammation around their joints. The inflammation leads to increased production of cytokines, chemical messengers that signal the immune system to attack. While this is meant to be protective, it often becomes excessive, especially with age. And guess when cytokines are most active in many people? In the early morning hours, between 3 a.m. and 7 a.m. So not only are your joints stagnant, but they're also under biochemical assault. No wonder getting up feels like a struggle. Another major player is cortisol, the stress hormone. Cortisol naturally rises in the early morning to help us wake up, but it also influences inflammation. If your cortisol rhythm is off, whether due to poor sleep, chronic stress, or blood sugar issues, it can contribute to morning stiffness. Add in dehydration, which peaks overnight, and poor mineral intake, like magnesium or potassium, and you've got the perfect storm for achy, reluctant joints before breakfast. So what can you do about it? Let's start with the evening, not the morning. Because how you prepare your body before sleep plays a huge role in how your joints feel when you wake up. One of the most effective strategies is an evening anti-inflammatory routine, simple changes that promote better joint recovery overnight. Start with dinner. Meals high in refined carbs, sugars, or processed fats can spike inflammation for hours. If you eat late and load up on bread, pasta, or sweets, you're setting yourself up for higher levels of systemic inflammation while you sleep. Instead, build a dinner rich in omega-3s, colorful vegetables, and clean proteins. Fatty fish like salmon, leafy greens, and even a handful of walnuts or flax seeds can reduce inflammatory markers like CRP and interleukin-6. Now let's talk movement. While rest is important, going to bed with completely inactive joints is a recipe for stiffness. Gentle stretching or a short walk after dinner can stimulate circulation and keep your joints from locking up overnight. I personally started doing 7 to 10 minutes of light yoga or mobility drills before bed, and it changed everything. You don't have to break a sweat, just gentle movement to signal your body that you're still using those joints, still asking them to stay loose and supported. Hydration is another piece of the puzzle. Many people go to bed dehydrated without realizing it. And since we lose fluid through breathing and sweat overnight, that deficit gets worse by morning. Your joints, like the rest of your body, need water to function. I started drinking a full glass of water 30 minutes before bed, not too close to avoid waking up at night, and another glass first thing in the morning before any coffee. It helped reduce the rusty hinge feeling dramatically. Now let's look at the morning itself. You wake up and everything feels tight. What do most people do? They get up and move right away, but too quickly, too cold. Instead, try this. Sit up slowly, take a few deep breaths, and gently roll your shoulders, ankles, and neck before standing. Let your nervous system ease into movement. Give your joints time to signal that they're ready. Once up, do 3 to 5 minutes of dynamic warm-up. March in place, circle your arms, touch your toes, then raise up. This doesn't just warm up the muscles, it increases blood flow to the joint capsules, boosts synovial fluid movement, and tells your body, let's go. Think of it like preheating your oven. It takes a few minutes, but the results are better and safer. Let's not forget about supplements and nutrition. For people over 45, certain nutrients become essential, not optional. Omega-3 fatty acids help reduce inflammation. Magnesium supports muscle and nerve relaxation. Vitamin D, especially when paired with K-tau, improves calcium distribution and joint integrity. And collagen peptides or bone broth? They're not a miracle, but they give your body the raw materials for cartilage repair. I also want to touch briefly on a concept that surprised me: your gut health and its impact on joint pain. Many researchers now link gut microbiome imbalances with systemic inflammation, including in joints. If your digestion is off, or you have signs of leaky gut or food sensitivities, your immune system may be triggering low-grade inflammation that shows up in your knees, hips, or hands. I began to experiment with cutting back on gluten and dairy, not because of a diagnosis, but just to observe. And for me, reducing dairy at night helped lessen the morning puffiness in my fingers. Everyone's body is different, but if you suspect your joints are inflamed despite everything else, your gut might be worth investigating. Another tip I learned: pay attention to your sleep posture. If you sleep curled up tightly or with joints bent too long, they may stiffen overnight. Try placing a small pillow between your knees if you're a side sleeper, or under your knees if you lie on your back. These subtle shifts keep joints more neutral and less compressed. What we haven't talked about yet is the tissue that makes movement possible, but often gets ignored: cartilage. Cartilage is the smooth, rubbery tissue that cushions your joints and lets bones glide over each other without pain. But here's the issue: cartilage doesn't have its own blood supply. That means it relies entirely on the fluid around it and on your movement to get nutrients and remove waste. So when you're inactive all night, cartilage becomes starved of what it needs most: hydration and circulation. This is why people who live a sedentary lifestyle often experience more joint pain, even if they haven't injured themselves. Their cartilage is undernourished. Their muscles, which stabilize joints, are weaker. Their tendons and ligaments lose elasticity. And these effects accumulate faster after 45, when collagen production begins to decline and the body needs more support than ever. Let's also consider something we do every day but rarely link to our joints: breathing. Shallow breathing, especially during stress or poor sleep, reduces oxygen delivery to tissues. Less oxygen means less recovery. It also means your nervous system stays in a fight-or-flight mode longer, that which keeps inflammation high. I began practicing deep diaphragmatic breathing before bed and upon waking. Just 5 minutes of full belly breaths helped calm my nervous system and ease that early morning tightness more than I expected. All of this brings us to one simple truth: the body is connected. Morning joint pain isn't just a joint issue, it's a whole body signal. It's about hydration, movement, food, stress, posture, hormones, and even how you breathe. When you start to listen to that signal and respond with awareness, not panic, things start to shift. slowly at first, but meaningfully. So here's your challenge. Tonight, before bed, drink that glass of water. Do 3 minutes of gentle movement. Lie down with your knees supported. Breathe deeply for a few moments. Then tomorrow, before jumping out of bed, stretch. Roll your ankles, take a breath, walk slowly to the kitchen, and drink again. These little rituals stack up. And over time, they may just change how your mornings feel, for good. And if you forget one day, don't worry. This isn't about being perfect. It's about building awareness. Every time you choose movement over stillness, hydration over dryness, calm over chaos, you're voting for stronger joints. You're teaching your body that it's worth taking care of, one morning at a time. Because after 45, we don't have to settle for less mobility, less comfort, or more pain. We just need better tools, better habits, and a little more kindness toward our aging bodies. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. So if this message resonated with you, take a moment to like the video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more clear, grounded insights into staying strong, inside and out at any age. Stay moving, stay mindful, and I'll see you in the next lesson.